leaps him up into top 6 in targets, receptions, and receiving yards on this week. So go check out for Evan Ingram if he's somehow still out there. Alrighty, Wolfpack, let's move in to the guys that are 50% or fewer rostered that can hopefully help you win that title. I'm trying to focus on, before we get into some of these specific names, if you're in the playoffs, you probably don't need like Chuba Hubbard in a timeshare backfield. I'll mention him later, but I wanted to focus on the 10 guys that I could genuinely see actually starting on playoff rosters here. It's slim pickings in that sense, because again, if you're in the fantasy playoffs, you probably don't need a ton of help. That's why we'll make sure to hit those defenses. That's where you can always gain an edge. But there are a few positions out there. There's 3 receivers in general that I think could genuinely be top 25 guys coming up this next week. There's a couple running backs who I also think could be high-end running back twos, depending on the injury situations around them. And then we've got some cheat code tight ends that I cannot wait to dive into further. So that gives you a whole landscape preview. Let's dive in at the top. My number 1 pickup of the week is Damien Harris. 50% roster, been cut by a ton of people out there, given that Rhamondre had taken over this backfield. Even when Harris was healthy, it had become like a 65-35 split. But Rhamondre got banged up, ankle injury, knocked him out of the second half of the game. He tried to return, did not end up going so well, and he was quickly ruled out after that little plunge. And now the situation could be wide open here against the Raiders, a top 7 matchup for running backs. Maybe they rest Rhamondre down the stretch run where Harris, yes, he was doubtful, but it looked like he was kind of chomping at the bit to get in there. He was walking around the side. Like, it just seemed like this is a guy that was maybe 1 week away. So, of course, you've got to also check out Pierre Strong in case it isn't Harris. Maybe he's not ready. We do have to monitor the injury reports, but I do think and expect Damien Harris, a guy that last year was a top 12 running back in fantasy thanks to 15 touchdowns. He would be a smash play if he's in, and Rhamondre is out again in a good spot against the Raiders. Remember, when he was the lead back to start the year, he had 3 straight touchdowns, was a top 24 running back, 16.7, 12.6, and 15.4 points through weeks 2 through 4. Looking really solid to start the year. Got banged up. Rhamondre came in, took the job. But with Rhamondre potentially out this week, he could be a smash top 20 running back play. Very, very rare to find that this time of the year on the waiver wire. But let's say he is out and Rhamondre is out. Well, Pierre Strong, 1% rostered. He's my number 8 pickup of the week. But I do want to mention him while we're talking about Pat's running backs. 5 carries for 70 yards. Looked damn explosive. They actually implemented some zone running schemes for this guy who was the best zone runner according to PFF's grades in college. He was looking dazzling out there. Also had 2 catches for 20 yards. So just 7 touches, 90 total yards, and a score over 17 fantasy points. Now, Kevin Harris, he did come in first. 8 carries, 26 yards, and a score. Played more snaps, 29 snaps compared to 19 for Pierre Strong. But in the second half, Pierre Strong did outsnap Kevin Harris. Given how much juice he was showing, the coaching staff quickly turned the backfield over to him. So if both guys, Harris, Damien Harris, that is, and Rhamondre Stevenson are out, I do expect Pierre Strong, almost said Pierre Thomas, what a throwback there. Love that guy for way back in the day. But Pierre Strong maybe doesn't start, but I would expect him to be the featured back. Maybe J.J. Taylor gets activated. It is risky. Your playoffs on the line. If Damien Harris isn't in, are you really going to go to a 3rd, 4th string Patriots running back, given how they rotate backs anyways? It could be a move that makes or breaks you, but this backfield has routinely churned out points regardless of who's back there, and Pierre Strong genuinely looked very, very solid. As a Pats fan, I was watching every single snap. So, big fan of the talent. Could be a highly used guy. So if you miss out on Harris or Harris is ruled out, just worth having Pierre Strong on the roster. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.